Before the NBA season started, there was a lot of speculation on what some NBA players returning from injury might look like, such as Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. But one player that a lot of people forgot about is Victor Oladipo. He ruptured his quad in the 2019 season and played in about 15 games the following year. He did play in the bubble, but he really didn't look good at all. So I think a lot of people were assuming that he wouldn't make his way back into being a star. But to start the season, he's looked absolutely fantastic. He looks to me like his old all-star self from the 2018 season, but he takes less shots a game because he has more talented teammates around him. For example, they didn't have Malcolm Brogdon before, and now he's entering his prime. TJ Warren is blossoming into a great shot creator, and Sabonis is now an all-star. So he's taking less shots per game, but he still looks like his all-star self. He's averaging about 20 points per game and shooting an efficient 47% from the field and 40% from 3. Now obviously it's early in the season, so these numbers are going to dip down a little bit, but if you watch the Pacers play, you see that Oladipo is their true star. I think now he's a more willing and capable passer than he was before. And that may be because his teammates are much better, but it seems like when he has the ball, he doesn't just barrel to the basket like Westbrook used to do, his old teammate. Now he plays like Luka Doncic a little bit, more methodical when he has the ball. He'll slash to the basket with that quick first step, but he'll slow down when he gets to the paint, maybe throw up a floater, or make sure his defender is on his back so he could pass it to the center down low. He seems like he's more focused on drawing fouls and getting his own within the flow of the offense, which is definitely important considering how talented this team has become over the past few seasons. Because Oladipo doesn't have to worry as much about carrying this team, he has more energy later in games. Instead of him coming down the floor possession after possession trying to barrel his way to the basket, now there's times where he's sitting on the 3-point line waiting for a pass from Brogdon, or maybe he's the one initiating the offense and finds Myles Turner in the corner. So there's a lot of different ways that this offense seems to work, and Oladipo is a key piece to it. He brings so much to the team and is good at almost every part of the game. He can spot up in the corner, he could bring the ball down, he could slash to the basket, he could make some tough pass across the court, and when he wants to, he could defend the other team's best player. He might not be the most consistent defensive player, but there's times when he really locks in and can play great defense on a great player. When comparing Oladipo's numbers from this season to his all-star season, you would see that he's taking more threes per game and he's averaging more assists. Now again, obviously it's only been around 7 or 8 games, but it's still a good sign that he's taking more threes per game. And part of the reason for that is because of the firing of their old coach, Nate McMillan, and the hiring of their new coach, whose name is also Nate. Over the past few seasons, the Pacers have been kinda known for not taking many three-pointers. But now that they have a new head coach, things have definitely changed. Last year, under the coaching of Nate McMillan, the Pacers were dead last in three-point attempts. They only took about 30% of their shots from 3. But this season, they're up to 16th, which is about middle of the pack, and they're taking about 40% of their shots from 3, which is a big improvement, and I think it's part of the reason why the Pacers seem to be a better team this season. I think a lot of people kind of forgot and neglected the Pacers because of what happened in the playoffs last year. Sabonis was hurt, Oladipo was coming back from injury without playing really any warm-up games, and TJ Warren was by far the best player on the team. They got swept by the Heat in the first round, but if all the players were healthy, this series could have been completely different. Unfortunately, things didn't work out for them that season, but it looks like this season things are going to be a little different for the Pacers. Like I said before, the hiring of their new head coach has definitely changed up a lot of things on this team. They're taking more three-pointers and seem to be better at facilitating and just overall sharing the ball with everyone on the team. They've always been a pretty good team at not turning the ball over, and I think the reason for this is because they have so many capable ball handlers. Victor Oladipo, TJ Warren, Malcolm Brogdon usually runs the show, and even Sabonis can take the ball up and make a great pass, which is something that's definitely underrated about his game. Yeah, he's a demon down low and it's really hard to stop him, but did you know he's averaging almost 7 assists per game as a power forward? And it's not just Sabonis who has taken his game to the next level, other guys have too, such as Myles Turner, who is peaking defensively this year. Malcolm Brogdon has also shown lots of improvements since he joined the team. I really liked him on the Bucks and was upset that they didn't re-sign him, considering they needed another ball handler next to Giannis because Bledsoe was not the answer. But Malcolm Brogdon is actually leading this team in scoring this year with 22 points. He's also taking the most shots with about 16. Victor Oladipo comes right behind him with 15. Then you have guys like Sabonis and TJ Warren who are taking around 13 to 14 shots. And then it drops off again to about 10 shots a game with Myles Turner and Doug McDermott. So it seems like this team has a nice even scoring base with no one taking too many shots like Oladipo was in 2018 where he was taking close to 18 shots a game. But now everyone has gotten better, so the scoring should be even amongst the top players on the team. TJ Warren took this team over in the bubble and people were excited to see what he would look like in the regular season. I haven't really seen him get anywhere near the sort of hype that he was getting when he was matched up against Jimmy Butler, but he's still a great offensive piece for this team and has become that pure scorer that this team kinda needed. Myles Turner has struggled to shoot to start the year, but he is still a great shot blocker alongside Sabonis, who isn't as great defensively, so I think it's still important to have him on the team. And I expect him to eventually figure out the shot. The role players such as the Holiday brothers, TJ McConnell, and Doug McDermott have all been playing pretty well to start the season. So I think this Pacers team has the mold of a team that might be able to upset some Eastern Conference teams when it comes to the playoffs. What I mean by this is that they have stars that can close out games such as Sabonis and Oladipo. They have playmakers such as TJ McConnell and Brogdon. They have decent shooting with their role players, and they have good rim protection with Myles Turner. So I'm excited to see what this team looks like the rest of the way, and I'm also excited to see Oladipo play like an all-star for the entire season. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new, make sure you subscribe and like the video as it really helps the channel grow. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.